כל השנה הלכות בכל יום, ותח לו שוב ביום רב הבא. בעזרת השם, the two mitzvot of the day. Today we'll be discussing the 21st of Tuesday, third day of Parashat Re'eh. We're going to be discussing two mitzvot, right? Mitzvah number 541. Reload a fallen burden with him. It says in the Torah, Hakem takimo. And mitzvah number 542, we'll be discussing women are not allowed to get dressed as men. They're not allowed to put on pants. Anything that men wear, a woman cannot do. So we'll go into detail of that. B'ezrat Hashem, the mitzvot are sponsored today. לרפואה שלמה לכל חולי עמו ישראל, ובכללם לחיה בת לאה, יוסף חיים בן מפרד, שרה סורי בת רחל, חיה I believe, רפואה שלמה לכל חולי עמו ישראל. You have any name? Any name? רפואה שלמה? Okay. Huh? Yes? No, we're going to discuss this right now. No, poor. Okay, good. So good. That's a good question. It's a very famous question. The most famous question: can on Purim a man dress like a woman and a woman like a woman and a woman like a man? Chas v'shalom. Purim is a prohibition d'oraita. It's not a joke. Okay, there's a whole discussion about it. Let's see. Mitzvah number 539. Shalom na'alim ayin me'avidat achenu. Sorry. 541. Mitzvah akamat masa b'Yisrael. So you have like this. A Jew is trying to load up his car. Let's say a guy is moving, right? He's trying to move, and you're passing by. If you could give hand, you're giving a hand. There is no mitalem. I don't want to help him. שנצטווינו לעזור את אחינו כשיהיו צריכים לתת המסע על הבהמה. You see a man is trying to load up his car, or in older days they had cows and anything, or a horse. They want to load up, and he's struggling. There's a mitzvah d'oraita to go to help him to load up the animal with the stuff. It says in Pasuk Dvarim, chapter 22 in Dvarim, Pasuk 4, Hakem takimimo, help him. This is called loading a burden. Okay. And our sage also told in Masechet B'Matzia, Lamed Bet, 32nd page, Amud Aleph, Shenotlin tzachar ala teina. You could actually get paid for helping him. Let's say a guy is moving, right? And he wants you to load up the U-Haul truck. Okay. You have a mitzvah to help him, but even though you have a mitzvah to help him, you are allowed to ask him for payment. Habibi, my time is precious. I want to work for you. I want to help you. Let me help you. Good. It costs money. No problem. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to demand money, payment for helping your friend. Okay? However, this is talking about loading the burden on an animal. What about taking off? And the taking off, כלומר לעזור את אחיו לפרוק המסע מעליו או מעל בהמתו, חייב הזה הוא עלינו לעשותו בחינם. To take off the burden, you cannot charge money if you're talking about from an animal. There's an animal involved, a horse. You want to take off the burden from the donkey or from the horse. Here, you cannot say, pay me and I'll take it off. You're right. You hold truck, lechoira, there's nobody in pain. Nobody's suffering. But let's say if a person, where you were growing up, younger than you, before I came to America. Only in America there's no derech eretz. When I was growing up, everybody from age 3, we already know that if an older person is working with burdens, with shopping, you go help them. We were learning in schools. They taught us in schools. They taught us in school, go and help a person to cross the street, old lady with the baggages, we used to help, bring home food. You see a lady in the middle of a block walking home with the burden. We used to run to her, we were obligated to go, take the baggage, and walk with her home. Help her. That's the mitzvah d'oraita, 541. People today are totally nutcases in America. Since I came to America, I never heard it once on television. Never heard once on television, go help the older person to carry the boat. Not just older people, anybody. You see a person is carrying 5 watermelons. I don't know, he got it for 25 cents. I don't know what. It's a heavy burden, right? So it's heavy for him. Oh, it's his business. No, it's not his business. D'oraita, you go and you help him. בשושן המצווה הזו, קצת דיניה, כתבתי במצוות פריקה, בסדר, עם סגסת ערביה, okay? So again, same thing. Over there, the hope or the concept of this mitzvah is to have conscience to help others. Yana, we're all here for the next person. The most important mitzvah, number 80. People don't say. It's also, again, he alludes to that. Mitzvah number 80. the 3 words. If somebody asks you, Rabbi, what are the most important 3 words in the Torah? What is the most important concept? Not just 3 words. It says in 3 words. But imagine the Hakadosh Baruch Hu wrote 24 books. There are 24 Nevi'im books we have. The Torah, Nevi'im, Tuvim, it's 24 books. Those are 24 books of prophecy. 24 opposite 24 hours. So there's a lot of learning of this. So much Torah. So many statements Hashem is making. But what are the most important statements Hashem is making? What are the most? Somebody asks you, what is the most significant what Hashem wants from us? What is the most significant? The most significant is to help your enemy. Azov ta azov imo. Hashem wanted to teach you that even your enemy you help. Even the enemy you help. Meaning, all others who are not your enemies. Who are not your enemies, you must help. What? Again, if they killed a person, let's say you ask if they killed somebody's parent. Again, so what are we talking about here? If they chayav mitah, so they will be killed. If they chayav mitah. But in reality, the Torah tells you, if somebody kills the parent, it's a harsh thing. But he killed. Who allows him to kill? Who allows him to kill? You're not allowed to hate him if he's a Jew. He's not a Jew. If a goy, you're allowed to obviously do everything to get him to justice, but don't put yourself in danger. A person cannot go and take revenge. We don't have such a concept of going and killing these people. They killed my parents. So you put your revenge, you have an obligation now. You have an obligation to live. You have an obligation to bring children to the world. If you go and start taking revenge, you have a big chance of getting him murdered. So what's the point? There is such a concept. Most of the Goyish movies, most of the life is all about revenge. They actually base everything on revenge by this going. People have fights in European countries. Forget about it. They have family feuds thousands of years. Thousands of years. Why? It will be strange. You'll find out. You go to what's his name? Go to England or go to Scotland. A Scottish boy. There's a families that they have feuds and they know it. And they hate each other. Ask him, where's the story? 1,000 years ago, my grandfather was making a wedding. And his grandfather had 10,000 sheep. And my grandfather needed 1 sheep. And he didn't sell it to him for a cheap price. He charged him full price. He has 10,000 sheep. They hate each other. They kill each other in Europe. The Goyim have this concept of vengeance. You're telling me a story. Chas v'shalom. A person killed somebody. If a Jew killed somebody, yeah. Hashem does it for some reason. I don't know why. But right now, I have to know there's only one reason that we are allowed to hate a Jew. One reason. What is that reason, Habibi? The reason is he goes against Hashem on purpose. He knows the whole Torah and he goes against Hashem on purpose. That person, it's a mitzvah to hate such a Jew. Only if you know that after a big warning, after everybody speak to him, please stop doing the Avirah, he doesn't want to listen. That's the only time you have a mitzvah to hate him. And now comes the pasuk. You hear, Avadia? And now comes the pasuk and tells us you have an obligation to help him first. If your rabbi comes to you and says, "Can you help me?" and this person that you hate, according to Torah, comes and says, "Please help me," he doesn't listen to Torah. He goes against Torah. He doesn't care all the rabbanim. He goes against all the rabbis. He makes fun of all the Torah. Now he says, "Come help me," and your rabbi says, "Please help me." A mitzvah deoraita number 80. That's what the rabbi is alluding to here. Go help him. He comes first before your rabbi. That's how far Torah goes. People don't understand that. Hey, Hashem Rachem Aleinu. Hashem should have mercy on us and help us to follow the Torah properly. Mitzvah number 542. A woman is not allowed to put on any clothing that belongs to a man. Women are prohibited to put on clothing of a man. And they're not allowed to put any weapons of men. Also, a woman, a police officer woman, the worst police officer in the world to run away from is a woman. You see any woman that's a police officer, run away from her. She has very low self-esteem, so she puts on a man's clothing and puts on a man's uniform, and she puts on a gun, and that's the worst people. The women judges, women police officers, those are the worst cases. If you have in the future any case where you see a woman, let's say a police officer, woman pulls over a man, put your head down, don't even look at her, Yes, how may I help you? And bye-bye. The less you talk to her, the less you're there, the best thing in the world. Why? Because they have this azut. A woman put on men's clothing, put on a whole thing. Chas v'shalom. And it says over there in chapter Dvarim, 22nd chapter, pasuk A, lo yeh kli gever al isha. A woman is not allowed to put on men's uniform. ותרגם ונקלוס, לא יהיה תיקון זין דגבר על ליטתה. So over there, specifically, the language of the Torah is telling you she's not allowed to wear clothing. But over there, many rabbis learn from there. It's not talking about only clothing. Specifically, it's also talking about the weapons. Oh, yeah?
What about a business? Like, you have a business and people come in to buy stuff. You can't just sit there. You can't just not look.
Oh, very good. So you're asking a question of tzniut. If you give me 30 seconds, let's just finish it and I'll answer. He's asking, here, you're in business and naked woman coming in. A guy opens up an ice cream shop. Ice cream shop on the beach. What do you think is going to happen? All the naked girls are coming in to buy his ice cream. All they do is they just have bikinis covering their private on top, and that's it. Everything else is naked. Not allowed to look at them. You ask a question, how can he sell to them? Very important question, but that's not the point right now. We're talking about, let's finish the halakha and then I'll answer it. Just remind me if I don't. And we already explained to us, so there the rabbis tell us it's talking about specifically uniform of war. Those are the clothes specifically are designed for men. That's what the war is all about. Women don't go around with weapons. Now, if a man clothed, this is a man's clothing, usual. That's the common thing. So nobody's gonna come and say, listen to me, America right now, the jeans is a normal thing for women to wear. Right? No, it's not. No, it's not. Actually, 50 years ago or 60 years ago, in the 50s, for sure, you couldn't, 1950s, you couldn't find one woman came out wearing pants. Almost impossible. It was not the common. I'm talking about goyish. כגון שתשים בראשה מצנפת או שאר כלים המיוחדים לאיש. So again, so anything that men wear, a woman is allowed to wear. But שהשם מצווה, להרחיק מאומתנו הקדושה דבר ערווה. What's the purpose? Why would a woman want to wear a man's clothing? To be like a man. A woman wants to be like a man, and she wants to mingle with men. She wants to mingle with men. What? Again, remember that. A woman is one of the goals, essential issue of a woman that she needs a man to cling onto. She needs a man to give her strength. She needs a man to give her emotional support. So what does she do? She dressed like a man to be next to men all the time. So the men get used to her. And get used to her, it's easy for her to then seduce them. Chas v'shalom. So therefore, the rabbi says, what the purpose of this mitzvah is a holy nation like ours. We don't want to be involved in any way possible. Stay away as much as possible from an action of seduction by a woman. Okay? So it just told us, it's a Hedrin, page 106, first side. They gave us an example. Our God hates anything that has to do with with frivolous act of adultery or abomination. כלומר, של אהבותינו הרחיקנו מן הזימה, שהיא דבר מכוער ביותר, the most distant thing that Hashem hates is us getting involved in promoting a chas shalom, or for sure staying away in any way possible from anything that has to do with abomination between men and women. וכך לב האדם ומתיחו מדרך טובה ומחשבה רצויה לדרך רעה ומחשבה של שטות. A person who is allowing himself chas v'shalom to be devoted or to be involved in anything that has to do with immorality, then is going to do a lot of bad things in his life. ואין ספק אם יהיה מלבושי האנשים שווים, יתערבו אלו עם אלו תמיד ומלא הארץ זימה. What's going to happen if a man and a woman wear the same clothing? Then what's going to happen is that there will be too much frivolosity, too much znut, too much bad things going on between men and women. ועוד אמרו בטעם מצווה זו, שהיא להרחיק כל עניין עבודה זרה, שדרכן של עבודה זרה היא בקו. Another reason why women are not allowed to dress like men, because this is another form of avodah zarah. Certain idol worship, that they will be dressed in the same clothing and perform their acts of this service. and therefore the Torah tells us stay away from it. ואלה שני הטעמים הטעם בספרי הרמב"ם explains it, אחר כתבי אותם, אוקיי, דיני המצווה קצרים בפשט הכתובים מהם בנכללים. Very important, very simple. The rules are very simple. A man dresses like a man, woman dresses like a woman. Actually, tomorrow we'll discuss again. A man will dress like a woman. Now, the question is, you asked the first question is, before we started this halachot was, what about Purim? Very important. People make a big mistake. Purim, they think it's a holiday of frivolity. The most holiest holiday in the Jewish calendar. Purim is more greater than Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, it's like Purim. You hear? Purim is the most holy, and the Satan obviously is making everybody crazy, thinking the day is all about disguise. People don't understand. The whole purpose of disguise is to show that Kiviyachol, Hashem, everybody knows behind the mask who it is. Everybody knows it's you behind the mask. So you want to show, even though Purim, the whole Megillah doesn't have Hashem's name, but we all know who was behind that. That's the purpose of masks. The whole purpose, sole purpose is to show the elevation of holiness of the day and to come close to Hashem. And this guy goes ahead and dresses like a woman, or she's dressed like a man. So what are you doing? Why would you do that? To go against Torah also. It's a big discussion in Poskim. Some Poskim allow it, because it's really not clothing, it's just a disguise. No. There is no such a thing. Even if you're obvious disguise, but you cannot put on a wig, you cannot put on the clothing of a woman, chas v'shalom. Not to have any interaction of frivolity. Not to have anything to deviate from the truth. What kind of person you are? Torah is Torah, and don't play games. No, your question, what about stores? People open the simple answer is, it's avera to open an ice cream store in the beach. It's an avera, and it's an avera for any ashgacha to give ashgacha to say it's kosher. Why? Because you're helping to do avera. First of all, ashgacha, the rabbis will give ashgacha. How dare you? What are you giving kosher in the beach, knowing that they're all naked there? And how can you, as a holy person, how can leolam? The Torah tells us rabbis obligate a father to teach his son a clean job. What is a clean job? Staying away from snooze. Staying away from frivolity. What do you think happens to a man when he looks a whole day at naked girls that are coming in to buy ice cream for him? One day he'll do the avera, without a question, without a doubt. No, Rabbi, he's a holy person. What holy person? You're right. If he's there for a week and he didn't touch a girl yet, he is a holy person. Maybe he's totally has a hole in his head. Something's wrong with him. Something is wrong with him. Why do you think I don't go to the beach? Why do you think? Because of, are you kidding me? That's the first thing that's going to happen. If you're not getting excited by looking at girls, naked girls, something's wrong with you. But this guy is not healthy. He needs a lot of help. He needs a lot of push. Something's wrong with him. Stay away. The Torah tells you stay away in anything. Now, you're asking differently. What about I'm a jewelry, some jewelry? Right? Baruch Hashem, most Mufayim guys know the jewelry. What do you mean? A woman comes in, you don't look at her. First of all, anytime you talk to a woman, you're not to look at her face. Anytime. Business, rabbi cannot talk to any of the patrons, any of his students' wives, or to his students. Like I said many times, the rabbi have to give shiurim to the ladies, not ladies to the ladies. Even then, the rabbi is not allowed to look at their faces. Halacha asur. Not allowed to look at their face. Yes? She comes in, smile, yeah, here's what do you need? Oh, she's going to get offended. Excuse me, that's not my business. Hashem is in charge of Parnassah. Problem is, we all think today that we're in charge of Parnassah. She's going to get offended, she's not going to be... I know people, you hear Rabbi Elazar? Rabbi Elazar, what's the last name? The only big yeshiva in Tel Kabir. Rabbi Elazar. He had a big deal, $50 million deal, yeah? With a European company. The president was a woman, and he's the president of his company in Manhattan. A woman came in, she stretched, they signed a contract, ready to sign. Connect. Shake their hands. That's it, they signed a contract, they agreed on the deal. She's stretching out her hand. He says to her, you're done. Yeah. He says to her, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to shake women's hands. Rip the contract, she tells the lawyer, rip the contract right now. We're not leaving this room. He's not shaking my hand. I don't trust this man. He says to her, okay, thank you very much. Multi-millionaires, they don't care. But today she's going to get offended. That's your business. The prohibition of mitzvah number 542 is for the women specifically. Everywhere in the world, a woman is not allowed to get dressed. like a man. ואישה העוברת על זה ולובשת הבלבושים המיוחדים לנשים לבד באותו המקום שהיא בו חייבת מלכות. A woman that is transgressing and wears men's clothing, and we warn her not to wear pants. If she says no, I don't care, give her lashes. Bezat Hashem, have a wonderful day. We're going to learn now halacha.